We've got Shanti Ekamram, who's President of Corporate and Investment Banking at Kotak Mahindra Bank, now joining us on the show to continue talking rather about the Banking Amendment Bill. Now, Shanti, would you say that this is actually going to translate into action on the ground, or would you attribute this more to a sentiment booster?
No, I think the bill has been passed and it should translate into action on the ground. Typically, it should take anywhere from about 12 to 15 months or more, depending upon how fast the guidelines come out and how they move on from there. It is a positive step, and it has certainly provided a sentiment in terms of boosting the sentiment, and it should translate into action. I think it means business.
While we do expect that new licenses will be issued in due course, like 12 to 15 months or maybe even 18 months, like you just mentioned, do you believe we actually are going to see consolidation among the smaller private banks? Because we've been talking about this since yesterday evening, and we've said that communities, to the extent that communities back most of these banks, that could potentially stand in the way of consolidation.
See, if you look at any theme of consolidation, I mean, in any industry, it is natural that the smaller players should consolidate and bigger players get bigger. But consolidation also depends upon the right fitment and value accretion. Yeah, in any M&A or any consolidation that happens, there has to be the right fitment and there has to be the value accretion. I think over a period of time, this industry will also consolidate, and you will see the emergence of many banks playing geographies, playing products, playing different segments, and you will see all of those emerge. So over a medium term, yes, I would certainly expect the industry to consolidate.
Shanti, afternoon. Now, one of the other key proposals in the bill was with respect to the restriction of 10% voting rights, which has been removed for the private banks. Do you think now smaller private banks with low promoter shareholding can also see more M&A activity in light of this?
Like I said, I don't think M&A was necessarily restricted just by the shareholding. M&A is all about the right fitment and the right value and the value accretion and fitting within the strategy. So yes, the passing of the bill, the moving of some of the provisions will help in consolidation. It will help probably more in new banks coming out and licenses being issued. But I think the industry will consolidate.
And Shanti, in your view, will Kotak be interested in an M&A with any small bank? Is there even a possibility of a merger with a big bank as of now?
I think there is already a statement out as far as that is concerned.
Sure, and just on your overview of the bill, if you could just walk us through some of the opportunities as well as challenges you think this presents?
Which presents? You're talking about the banking sector, or you're talking about the new bill?
The banking sector, the overall bill that was passed yesterday, what are the challenges and the opportunities that you think it would lay forth?
No, I'd say if you look at India, it is still relatively underbanked. It is known that there are more mobile phones than there are bank accounts in India. So I think what will happen over a period of time, in addition to consolidation, people will start rolling out niche strategies. I mean, there is a rural India, there is an urban India, there is a urban rural India, and there is a really mass affluent and really a super rich India. So I think banking as a sector will start segmenting itself in providing services, in providing products, in rolling out new technology platforms. So I think in terms of opportunity, the opportunity is immense. And as I said, India is still relatively underbanked. So I think there are many opportunities. Challenges are, it is not easy to set up a bank overnight. You have networks, you have people, you have products, you have services. As in any sector, banking has its own sets of challenges, which will continue as we go forward. But I think the size of the opportunity is significantly large.
Right. Now, Shanti, just focusing on the PSU bank landscape, you've had finance minister after finance minister come out and say that you need, 2 to 3 or 4 to 5 large banks in order to, give India the global, for India to have banks of a global scale. But how do you make that happen?
I think one way to make them happen is to see mergers amongst banks.
Yeah, but the merger part is not so easy, right?
Sorry?
The merger part is not so easy because of the political challenges involved, the people challenges involved, the unions, etc.
It is entirely in the hands of the shareholder. Luckily, in the PSU banks, the shareholder is common, which is the government, right? So as you rightly said that the Ministry of Finance and the Finance Minister has been talking about it, it is up to the shareholder to see how this can be effected. But the way to build larger banks is merge some of the banks. See where there are synergies, for example, a North and a South bank, an East and a West bank. If you look at the PSU banks, there are many banks who are focused on region, there are many banks who are focused on certain other areas. So you could find synergies, and it is up to the shareholder to see how they can do it.
And finally, Shanti, even though the banking bill does give more powers to the RBI, the M&A and the banking activity will continue to remain under the purview of the Competition Commission of India. If you could just give us your thoughts on the same.
No, I think firstly, like I said, as far as the largest players in the segment are concerned, it's the PSU banks. And PSU banks have a common shareholder. So you will have the common shareholder, you will have the Reserve Bank of India and Competition Commission. So I'm saying each one has a role to play in terms of the regulatory aspect when it comes to mergers or acquisitions in the banking space. And each one of them are necessary in terms of the roles that they have to play in the banking segment as far as consolidation is concerned.